Hey, let's go, guys. You know there's no hanging out. DeAndre. Gimpy, what's wrong with you, man? You looking like your legs are hurting. You got a shotgun in there? What's going on? Huh? My name is Jesse Mendez, and I am a senior work experience counselor for the Youth Employment Partnership in Oakland, California. YAP is an organization that assists low-income individuals in job search and work experience. We do everything from job training, teaching an individual how to look for a job, where to look. Bring me a letter showing me that you're doing those.
Okay.
We work with individuals 18 to 24, male and female. A lot of them been to jail, been locked up, some of them done a lot of time, and this is their process in changing their lives and doing something different, learning a new way to live their life. I came from where they came from. You know, I come from where they're at. You know, I'm a former gang member. I'm all that stuff. Drug user. You know, I was strung out for 10, 12 years. My father left probably around age 2, I believe. I don't really remember that much about him. And then my mom moved back out here, left me with my grandparents. I started using drugs and getting involved in a lot of different things. Just pretty much being broke and on the streets. I can remember sleeping in people's yards and garages and stuff of abandoned houses just for a place to stay at night. I joined the gang lifestyle. They gave me a sense of family, you know, that I hadn't had growing up. And they were always there for me. And I really hadn't felt that from anybody, you know, my entire life.
If we're honest with ourselves, we'll admit that too many fathers are also missing. Missing from too many lives and too many homes. They've abandoned their responsibilities. They're acting like boys instead of men. And the foundations of our family have suffered because of it.
I went into a drug program and actually listened to that, and I got clean, and that's when my life started to change.
Daddy.
What? Yeah, I went through a very lengthy, draining court battle for my son, and that's one of my favorite stories to tell is that, you know, here I am, this ex-con gang member from the lower class, and I have full custody of my son.
I have 2 old guys.
That's your uncles. I can't afford the things that I want. You know, I can't afford the things that I'd love to do, the things that I need for my son, but we make ends meet. The way we work here is that they have to do a half a day of education and a half a day of employment. They pretty much get a stipend or a bonus for anything that they do. This entire building used to be a warehouse. Everything that's done here is all done by our students, so that they're learning a trade and learning something at the same time. Is that my yaw in there sleeping?
Yes, that is your yaw.
Excuse me. Slobbering on my table again. Get up, y'all. We also do the GED prep here on site. It's a generalized test that's equivalent to a high school diploma. Over 3/4 of them neither GED or high school diploma.
We spend more in California incarcerating people than we do educating people. If you're locked up in the state of California in prison, spend $30,000 a year to keep you incarcerated if you're an adult. If you're a young person in school, we spend $9,000 to educate you. That's wrong. We're not preparing for our future.
I'd say that on my caseload right now, I've got about 40 kids. But out of that 40, maybe 20 of them are showing up.
We have 1 in 3 young people will drop out of high school before graduating. We're really in dire straits.
I think there's a total of 6 that just got rearrested over the last month and a half. It's tough. I mean, it's really tough for those guys.
1 in 3 black men in the United States will at some point spend time either in prison or jail. It's a huge, huge disproportionate. It's only like 1 in 19 white American.
The problem is the jobs, having the jobs out there to employ them. I can get 100 people ready tomorrow to go out and get a job, but are there 100 jobs out there to put them in? This is our construction site. We've got all the tools and everything around that enables them to get hands-on training on.
These machines make me nervous.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous about, though.
My name is Shaman Jones. I'm 22 years old. We was raised in a single-parent home. It was rough. I started getting into a lot of trouble out here.
Shaman comes from, you know, a lot of stuff, background, family involved in drugs and gangs and stuff, and herself being involved in you know, drugs and stuff like that, and being a single mom.
This is my daughter, Demaya. This is my baby father boyfriend, Damien. I come home and be me, just stay in the house, mind my own business. I built this myself. I didn't need nobody help, you know what I'm saying? I know it look kind of junky, it ain't nothing, but this is what I could call home. My mom, she was on welfare, you know, and she had 5 kids about the age of 22, so it was hard on her to make ends meet, and if she had to, she would go out and go steal food. But it was times where we didn't have anything in our house, and my mom started actually using drugs. I don't even call her mom. I call her by her nickname, Cocoa Puff. So I think that a lot of my rebelliousness came from me feeling like my mom didn't really care about me. And I wanted to raise my child with her father in my life, trying to make it work. I wanted to be a woman, not a girl.
Yeah, I just go to work. I just go to work and then just come home. I mean, I don't have no friends. I got kids to take care of. I got a household to take care of. Like I said, anybody can be a daddy, but me personally, I want to be a father, you know? It's a good feeling, especially with me and Shaman together now. It's definitely a blessing because, I mean, we done came a long ways.
Especially for our females, we have what's called women in construction. Women in construction, they come in, they're not really sure about it, and they're like, oh, well, why am I going to do construction? And they come in and they get a hammer in their hand.
I'm like, I don't want to do this. But then when I started seeing like electric plugs, and I started thinking like, oh, this stuff, I can really do this. This is not something that's impossible for me to do. So I do it to the best of my ability.
Shaman, you know, came into the class and came in with an attitude that she was going to do something different, and not only helped herself, but helped others. First off, I want to thank all of you. Over this last week, you guys have really changed what you're doing. You've been showing up. You've been here. You've been in class. The classes that I do at YAP they're not like high school, that's for sure. Think about it. Think about it. Ain't nobody listening to what I'm saying right now?
Some of these young people have really high needs. They really need therapy. They need a place to live. They need somebody to, you know, talk to them about the decisions they make. That's not happening locked in a prison, though.
Because all of them come in this little shell that, you know, they're just fending off the world to make sure nothing gets in and hurts them.
If we lock them away and we incarcerate them, we spend all this money, quote unquote, punishing them, they're much more likely to cycle in and out of prison for the rest of their lives, never become a taxpaying citizen, never becoming somebody who actually gives back to society.
Would you want somebody selling dope to your kid? You know what I mean? For those of you that do that, would you, if you had kids, would you want to sell it to your kids? Yep. Because we poisoning each other.
A lot of young people come from situations now in particular where they don't know people who have jobs. I've met young people who's never met a person who went to college and graduated, right? Has never met a doctor or a lawyer outside of a courtroom or a hospital, right? And so what that means is they basically grow up in isolation. They grow up knowing only what they see around them, and that everything else is sort of a fantasy or make-believe.
You guys all sound real good. Everybody sounds real good talking about that, but how many of you got money invested somewhere? How many of you got money invested? Then why are you sitting at YAP right now? Because you're on parole. Why are you on parole? Because you didn't mind the law.
Because I did it wrong.
Didn't mind the law.
This is wardrobe. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you fitted into some outfits. And now, are you applying for any particular position?
Right now, I'm trying to apply for like Walmart, little retail jobs, nothing.
Okay, you have some interviews lined up?
Yes, I do. I have one with Walmart in a couple of days.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we'll get some outfits prepared.
Wardrobe Opportunity is a non-profit agency that assists for clothing for interviews for jobs.
So this is 14. We are providing clothing for her so that when she is ready to go on the job interview, she will be prepared and well-dressed for the moment. Because of your height, we've been in existence since 1995, and our first year we served approximately 230 clients, and to date we've served over 16,000. Each client is allowed 2 maximum appointments. The first appointment is an initial interview appointment, and they receive 1 to 2 outfits that are interchangeable. Once they've received the job, they can come back for what we call a working wardrobe, and that working wardrobe they will receive 3 to 5 more outfits.
I'm such a lady, ain't I?
Looks good.
Thank you. I like it, but I'm just something that I'm not used to. But I think that if I keep practicing putting it on and stuff like that, I feel better about myself in it. I just feel weird because I'm used to sweats and jeans.
Looks good. Very good. Very professional.
That was a new experience for me. I got to see myself dressed up and how I look in a business suit. I felt better about myself. I felt more like a mother. I felt more like a woman. I felt more like a person, business and stuff like that. Okay,
But I think you're going to do well. You're going to do just fine.
I know. Thank you for joining us. Until next week, I'm Rida Fakhri.